Hey guys, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I got a 2020 Ford deck assisting Escape with an EcoBoost 1.5 liter. Customer's complaint is the heat starts to fluctuate in and out. And it just started this morning. Been fine up until this morning. The heat starts fluctuating in and out, and they smell something underneath the hood. So I'm pretty confident I know what this is, and let me show you what we got. So there is the expansion tank right there, and as you can see, it's not showing any coolant in it. But now, if you come underneath the hood and you look, see this? See this? What the heck is that? I'd be willing to bet it's a water pump. You can see this? It's sprayed all over the place. It's up against the shroud. It's catching the belt and spraying everywhere. Now, can't really see much down there. Let's put it up in here and let's see what we got. But I'm pretty confident this is going to be a water pump. Alright, so I'm not sure what we're going to be able to see underneath here. If anything, yeah, you can see it's all over the place there. That's definitely the water pump that's leaking. I'm going to start de-trimming this thing and see what we got, but I'm pretty darn confident it's going to be a water pump. Alright, let me get the wheel off, let me get the shrouds off, and let's see what we can see. Alright, so I got the big lower shield out. And if you look up under here, you see this all coolant. And if you look up there, I don't know if I can focus in on it or not. It doesn't want to let me focus in on it. Yeah. Alright, yeah, unfortunately it won't let me focus in on it. Okay, but we're going to do a belt. You can see it's actually... Look at that. This thing must have some kind of a sealer in it. That's the only thing I could think of. Because this stuff is kind of like crispy. Almost. Weird. I don't know if they use a sealer from the factory or not, but... yeah, so it looks like we're going to be doing a water pump. Alright, let me start that process. Okay, with the coolant cap off up top, the drain right there, I have that opened up. I have this tube that I keep. It's just basically a piece of hose onto a 3/8 piece of like line, and I just use that to dump it into the tank there. This is nice because it works on so many different vehicles, and you can, that's where you guide it, because otherwise you wind up splashing it all over the place. So let me get that off. Let me get this shield and tire out of the way. This way I have better access through here. With that shield out of the way, check that out. You see the little, whatever you want to call them, the punk rock haircut pieces. They're just like little spikes sticking up all over the place. It's kind of cool, actually. It's on the back of the water pump too. So we're going to take the belt off. I don't know what that is. Oops, let's back up. It's a 17 maybe. But before we do any of that, we're going to crack the water pump pulley free. Crack the water pump pulley free before you take the belt off, because this way you have something to hold resistance back, because otherwise the pulley's just going to be free floating. So let me break those free. They look like 10 millimeter. All right, so I got them all broken free. As you see. Now you can take them out if you wanted to, but you just may cock the pulley on there until you take the belt off. So let's get the belt off. We're getting a new belt for this too. I don't want to take a chance with it, especially since it's gotten coolant more than likely on it. So let me get a 17 and see if I can't get that tension removed. All right, so simple enough. Just a 17 millimeter, and there you see it loosens up. I can't do this one-handed, but you just imagine, all I'm gonna do is pull it off the backside of the water pump and then just pull it out of its way. With the belt off and the 3 bolts out, and I took the 3 bolts out with my fingers once I broke it free. You can see that water pump is leaking pretty bad too. Hear it? They did say they had the alternator replaced once at the Ford dealer. I'm assuming probably because it got soaked with coolant. And they said it wasn't all that long ago, but it looks terrible right now because of all the coolant splash on it. So, but at this point, that pump doesn't look that bad. It's just got those Torx-headed bolts holding it in. All right, so let me start breaking those free. I already got the coolant drain, but I'll be willing to bet there's coolant in the block still. So I'm gonna have to get the coolant bucket underneath this. All right, so amazingly simple up to this point. They're T40 Torx head, and I just got them out with my 3/8 electric ratchet. There's one remaining, and it's in the top, but it's loose, or cracked free, I should say. So now, all I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pry on that a little bit just to try to break the seal free. Hang on one second. Now the reason for leaving that top bolt in there is so the whole thing doesn't fall out and you make a gigantic mess. Because this is usually where you make a mess. Well, let's see. All I really want to do is just break the seal free, which obviously I've already done, but I want to try to get as much coolant into the bucket as possible. Let me play with that a little bit because I'm going to stick the pry bar in there. But you see it's loose now, so I just want to get the rest of the coolant out of it. All right, so all the coolant's drained out, all the screws are out. Mounting bolts, and there it is. Pretty simple. I mean, that was actually a very simple water pump to change. Yeah, you can see it's all coming out of that upper weep hole too. All right, really not a big deal. And the fact that they use an O-ring is nice. So let me look at the new pump because we got a Ford pump over here. And it already has the dowels on it and it has the O-ring as part of it. So all I got to do is wipe down that surface right there and reverse procedure to install. Let me get this done. All right, so that's all on and bolted up. When you tighten up those bolts, of course there's a torque spec for them. There's a torque spec for everything. Obviously I'm not going to wind up putting a torque wrench up there. It'd be a little too difficult. Just tighten them down good and snug and go in order. Don't tighten one down and then go to another one and tighten it down. Like tighten this one up like to where you feel it starting to get a little bit snugged and go directly across, and then just do a pattern like you would like a wheel. And then, do like a full tighten and then, just complete everything. So with that being said, I'm going to put the pulley on, and I'm still waiting for a belt. So once a belt shows up, I'll put the belt on, then I'll torque or tighten up the pulley bolts. Just trying to tighten them up without the belt on there is kind of a pain. So, and I'm going to probably brake clean everything too before I do that. All right, so the pulley's on with the bolts finger tight. And now the belt, you have to get it behind there and basically lay it flat up against the timing cover and walk it up and then get it in place. So let me route the belt now, and once I get the belt routed and in place, then we'll tighten up on those pulley bolts. So there we go, the belt is routed, it's in place. Now basically you're just pulling on the tensioner like this and then getting it in place. I can't do this and hold the camera and film all at the same time, but you get the idea. Now just push the belt over. Hang on one second. Basically just like that, and let that go. Now make sure the belt is in, especially on the sides where the grooves are. Make sure you're in correctly and you're not hanging off by one. So give a good look, feel with your hands, make sure it's in where it needs to be. Because if it's hanging off by one tooth on one piece, it can actually throw the whole belt completely off and you can destroy the belt in the process. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's tighten up those bolts. Now a lot of times when I'm tightening up something like this, I'll have the bolt at the furthest point away from the center line of the pulley or of the whatever it is that it's attached to, and then tighten it that way because this adds the most torque to it. Trying to do it this way. See that? Because if I went to this one now, actually let me just get in a different position. If I went to this one now, let's say I tried to tighten it in this position here, I'm going to wind up with less torque before it starts to turn everything. You can experiment with that and you'll feel it and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you were doing this. Just trying to get this into a different position. like I said, trying to film and do this all at the same time is quite difficult. All right, so that's pretty darn tight. All right, so now let's get the shield back in place. Let's fill it with coolant, and then we should be good to go. Oh, I gotta put the wheel back on it, don't I? Okay, I used a funnel. I filled it up, overfilled it just slightly. But I haven't run it yet, so it's probably got an air pocket in it, if not enough to suck some of that out. Well, let's start it up. Make sure everything seems okay with the belt and whatnot. Oh, drive safely. Yeah, you can see some air bubbles coming up in here, so that level may go back to where it's supposed to be. So, from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to let it warm up, and then let's take it for a road test. I'm going to make sure everything's good. I'm just going to give it a visual. I figure if it's me just filling it up, it's really nothing to watch. Just put the coolant in. So, all right, let me let that happen, and then we're going to take it for a road test. Well, now that we're hot, you can see the level is perfect, so we're leaving it right there. Don't have to drain any out. All right, let me take this fill contraption off, put the cap on it. Let's road test it. All right, so road test was uneventful. Everything seems fine. I got good heat. That was what his complaint was that led to this whole thing, was he had heat that was cutting in and out. It was perfect throughout the whole thing. Temperature gauge never fluctuated, and I don't believe he ever overheated it. So anyway, that's about it. It's probably one of the easiest, not the easiest water pumps, but one of the easier water pumps I've done in quite a long time. All right, so that's about it. Hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.